What's up? Location Independent here again with our third installment of Michael the Genius Kirk, who has everything from a self table setting dishwasher, I think, right? To
Yeah.
studies and all kinds of ways to be more efficient. I talk about those in other episodes, and of course, I'm going to link to his website. But for now, kind of just more an informal chat, seeing what he's been up to recently, and of course, just whatever comes up. So, hey, Michael, glad to have you back.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Very excited.
As always, as always. So where to start, man? We were just talking before we started rolling here, like about all kinds of stuff. Maybe the dishwasher is a fun place to start.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd love to talk about that. I want to say about 3 months ago, I needed to learn embedded systems programming, and one of the problems I've wanted to solve for a while was doing dishes. I didn't want to have to do my daily dishes anymore. One of our solutions was to basically create a conveyor belt that would take your tray of dishes from your dinner table and bring it inside of a dishwasher. Now, this actually looks more like a car wash where there's a conveyor belt into a car wash and then spits it back out. And kind of to our total surprise, I guess maybe we just were really good at math, but everything worked out. We were able to move trays around the table. When it got into the car wash, the hot water blasted off all of the food. So we actually had a complete working prototype, and we're kind of looking at next steps here, potentially doing a production run.
Yeah.
So that's been my fun for the last few weeks.
That's amazing, man. Yeah, now you also just mentioned that you have a video of it, and I'll have to also link that in this description. So you have it like kind of pretty much ready to go now, and like it gets like working
Yeah.
prototype, right?
Admittedly, it is a prototype, so there were like a few little spots where there was like water leaking out, and because we do have a wood floor, we weren't going to keep it permanently, but we are working on our sort of second revision, one that's more aesthetically pleasing, has a
Okay.
few more features, and then the other engineer on the project is looking to get a patent for it.
Yeah, I was just
Um,
gonna say, like, is that kind of the end goal? Like, do you want to
uh,
have it being distributed and like,
Yeah, so me, I'm a libertarian capitalist that believes in like the market doing good things. The mechanical engineer on the project, I think, is more reasonable and thought we need to get a patent for this. So
okay,
I told him, if you want to get a patent, that's up to you. I'll do the electrical engineering on it. So we'll see what he does with that. But I don't know. I think there's a problem to be solved here. Lots of people don't want to do dishes, and it didn't seem very expensive or difficult to get a prototype working.
yeah. I mean, I just think it's a really really cool idea, and I could guarantee like 99 out of 100 people who does like doing dishes, right? I mean, I don't know. I guess
Right.
it's at 1 out of 100, but otherwise, like, I think this has a huge potential market. So, you know, let me know if you want to like. I'll build one over here. I mean, I'll
Yeah.
fly you down here maybe.
All right. So actually, I'll ask you a quick survey question.
Okay.
How many people does the dishwasher have to clean for you to be interested in it?
Like, just me personally, or you just mean?
Yeah. So your household. So probably you two. What
Yeah,
would you
mainly.
want?
I mean, you
Four
know, we have
spots.
an occasional guest, but I just live with my fiance, so us two. Yeah,
Okay. Um,
yeah.
yeah.
Think
Just
about it.
kind of survey study if you
Okay.
didn't mind. So.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now, do you have it like? By the way, do you happen to have it like if you right behind you, or is it not out right now?
We actually just moved it to
Oh,
our
okay.
basement, and it is not in working order. I have to do some electrical work to get it working again. And that actually, I was going to mention, and just because we're chatting, the economy right now. So my job is at some risk. So my day job, I work at General Motors, and
Yeah,
they're getting rid of people with more than 12 years of experience.
I
Um,
see.
yeah, and I'm contract there, so we'll see what the future is. We put
Yeah.
our household on cost freeze just to be responsible. So if we're not buying food or electricity, we're pretty much not buying it. So maybe in a
Okay.
few months I'll hook up the electrical again. But kind of like I was talking about, the mechanical engineer is going to be building the next revision at his place. So
Okay. Wait. Wait. So just to clarify that, like, you just mean like you're on a really like a super budget right now, or I didn't quite
yeah,
understand.
so what we're treating this like, say I lose my job tomorrow. That's kind of how we're acting. So
Okay.
even things that cost a few dollars, we are not buying. And the intention is that we save up money now. We did, like 2 weeks ago, we put a $50 cap on non-necessities. So I got like shoe polish that cost me $4. Just really little things to just improve quality of life, and we put a budget to that. So
okay, actually, I'm glad you brought up budgeting. Speaking of like couple budgets, me and my fiance just came up with, or have been thinking about the best way to budget. We're moving to Berlin together, and this will be like a new adventure for both of us. And this is the first time we'll be like officially living together. So we wanted to do a budget, and I was looking for apps. I found this app called Honeydew. It's like a stupid name, but like you both like add in it pulls expenses from bank account and credit card automatically. There's also a way to add in cash expense, and you can like have different budget categories. What's like, I guess, do you have some kind of system for budgeting, or?
Yeah, I would say our budgeting approach is kind of twofold. We kind of look at every expense in significant detail, and that's kind of the efficiency is everything product that, like on the website, you look at optimizing your food costs. Right. So I think that has its own sort of quality there. And then you have your real life expenditures. And that's something we'll do maybe every 6 months, just kind of check up, hey, did anything change? Did our rent change? Or I guess our mortgage payment change? Did our food budget change? And food's something we don't really change, but life expenses happen. And, maybe you need to pay off a car or, whatever the flavor of the week is.
Right.
And that's something we'll update when we change jobs or when, times are potentially tough, like right now. And that's kind of when we have our wake-up call, like, hey, let's recheck our finances, see what the next few months is going to look like. And this we just do in Excel. And maybe it's the engineer in me, but I find Excel very useful, especially for doing future projections.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Excel could definitely be the most like powerful or the most comprehensive. It just maybe is not like the easiest, like least time. Well, I guess once you get going, it is, right? But for me, it's just like, oh, I'll just get an app and like have that do most of the work. But I mean, speaking of being efficient, but that's cool. Yeah, Excel is probably a lot more comprehensive. Actually, one more thing before we move to another topic. I think for budgeting that it also kind of comes into play. It's especially important when you're going through a new life, a new phase of your life. So changing jobs, changing locations, moving in with a significant other, or being single. Otherwise, it's not like something that you need to do like forever, at least for me, because I just kind of get burned out and bored with it. But when I kind of feel, especially like if I feel like I've already been like a few months like watching and budgeting, and I have a good sense of where I am in my life, in that phase of my life, like, okay, I don't need to like necessarily track every single day's expenses once I'm in the zone, so to speak. But okay, all right, new topic. What about health insurance? I know you've been studying that.
Yeah. So my most recent article for Efficiency is Everything was really looking into health insurance. And every time I do this, it horrifies me. Every time I do this, I turn to my wife and I say, health insurance companies are evil. And this is, so I've done this for about 3 years now, and I swear those words just keep repeating year over year. Okay. And every year I do the study a little bit more detail. I think a few years ago I just calculated what the maximum cost if you were to say get cancer and cut off your arm and get sick all in the same year. Like, what would that cost, your max cost, right?
Yeah.
But then this year I went into the detail, like, what about every situation? What if you took one ambulance ride? What if you took, you just needed to see the doctor every month?
Yeah,
or what
realistic.
If you had a prescription drug?
Yeah.
So I wanted to look at more situations and see how different health insurances could be, say, optimized. Like, say you did know you were going to have to see the doctor every month. Is there one insurance that's better than another? And the answer is pretty much no. There's some like obscure situation where if you went to the emergency room once, but you didn't hit your max deductible and you didn't get charged for any tests, then there's some obscure situation where maybe one health insurance is better than another.
Yeah.
But for the most part, what you're looking for in your health insurance is having the lowest possible monthly premium, or lowest possible premium. And then if you're planning on getting sick, your lowest cost out of pocket plus premium. So to clarify what that really means, your premium is your payments you have to make, and your maximum out of pocket is the max you would have to pay if you got really injured,
Right.
Or you're pregnant or whatever. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to, like, say you're planning on getting injured or sick or pregnant, you would add your out of pocket, your maximum out of pocket, plus your yearly premiums, your yearly expense to pay for the health insurance. And then that is your worst case. So your goal would be to pick the lowest plan that hits your max out of pocket plus your premiums, your expense just to pay for the insurance. So kind of what that means very simply is pick the lowest cost insurance almost always. If you're planning on getting sick, I have a formula on efficiency is everything for you to use.
I have to interrupt you. I'm sorry. Yeah. Planning on getting sick, like who plans on getting sick?
So my wife is pregnant right now, so I consider that whatever. Maybe I don't want to say sick, but she's going to be hitting her max deductible this year.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
So in her case, we're picking the third cheapest plan. So there were just a bunch of plans, and the third cheapest plan, if the math worked out correctly, it'll save $1,000 over the course of the year versus if I picked the cheapest plan. And the cheapest plan is your best option. Your cheapest plan is always your best option if you're not planning on getting sick or pregnant.
Yeah.
But in this sort of weird scenario where we're planning on hitting it, we do have a formula that can optimize it. It's great. We'll be able to save like $1,000 a year using this math. But even if you didn't take the effort, awesome. I mean, you'd be costing yourself $1,000 a year, and that's assuming you know that you're going to hit your max deductible.
Right.
So that was kind of the conclusion, that pretty much nothing else mattered. Despite insurance companies having 20 to 30 different plans to choose from, really you should be looking at some of the lowest cost plans for almost every situation and occasion.
Yeah, and the reason I brought this up was because I know we've done a lot of research. Obviously, I can tell by just talking to you now. Can we link to that? Do you have like an article that we can link to in the description?
Yeah, I think there's something on the homepage.
Awesome.
Let me double check. Yeah, so on the homepage of Efficiency is Everything, it's one of our like featured articles, and I found it just absolutely incredible. Even for myself, like we have to pick out our own health insurance, and I feel really confident now that I have all the math laid out. Really just not picking the wrong plan. And right. I think the health insurance companies are trying to get you to pick a more expensive plan.
Yeah, and it's actually a topic that I've been thinking a lot about recently too. My employer just recently switched like to a new insurance provider, so we're kind of going all over all this stuff all over again. And even like our HR person, they're kind of just telling you like the facts. They don't really know as far as strategy what really would be the most beneficial to you, especially when it comes to saving money in the long run. They're just like, oh, well, if you think that, they have no idea. So this is like amazing that you're doing this. I think we've got so much good stuff already. Let's hop into another video. So give this a thumbs up and subscribe if you like this, and watch for part 2 coming up soon. And all right, Michael, I'm gonna say goodbye for now.
Yeah.
And just stay on.
I'm going to have me. Yeah.
Oh, bye. Okay. All right, cool.